Welcome back, everyone. Some new concerns out of Libya today that thousands of deadly weapons could wind up in the hands of terrorists. And this is after reports that some 20,000 shoulder-fired anti-aircraft missiles, like the one you see here, just vanished from a Libyan army warehouse. What to make of this report? Joining us now, Mike Baker, a former CIA officer and president of Diligence, a global security firm. So, Mike, shoulder-fired missiles. What exactly are they?
This sounds like a great problem to have, doesn't it? Weapon systems that are mobile. They don't weigh that much, maybe 50 to 60 pounds, and very easy to move. Very easy, actually, to manipulate and use. You're talking about essentially the worst of the bunch would be what we call SA-24s, which are the Russian most modern version of our Stingers. And people will probably, going back several years, remember the use of the Stingers in Afghanistan when we were working, training, arming the Mujahideen. And the Stingers played a significant role in getting the Soviets, to finally exit the country.
Now, in that situation, we ended up having to buy back the weapons that we gave the Afghanis as much as we could.
Yeah.
To get these off the market, number one, do we know where they are? And number two, do you buy them back? What do you do to get them back?
No, it's a definition of a goat rope. What happened was, early days, we had the Libyan uprising and everybody was talking about self-determination, democracy, and huzzah, right? What we didn't have was there was no control. And you can still argue to this day there's still no command and control amongst the rebel group, such as it is. And you also remember early days we were talking about the influence of Al-Qaeda in eastern Libya for years now, and using that as a recruiting ground. The influence of the Muslim Brotherhood in the area. Well, nobody wanted to talk about that. They don't want to talk about holding hands and how this was all going to work out great. Well, when they started taking over town after town and overrunning armories, they essentially just threw the doors open. And they had access to a variety of weapon systems, including these surface-to-air missiles. Now, you've got the SA-24s, you've also got the SA-7s, SA-14s, and these things are extremely dangerous.
Well, and let me just stop you there, because one of I guess I'll call him an executive of Human Rights Watch, was there in a trip to Libya, and in a report to ABC, he says, listen, I actually have pictures, and we got those photographs from him directly. You're seeing them on your screen there. We were just watching people go into these warehouses and take out these weapons, and we said something, but no one was there. I mean, NATO was there, Mike, right?
Well,
where were we?
Well,
when
remember, this was an
happens?
air campaign. Remember, there was a limited action, and there's real problems.
But you're a
anytime you have a
CIA
limited
guy.
action.
Come on, there wasn't any CIA guys there?
If there were, I wouldn't be talking about it. But the point being that the Libyan military, right off the bat, not known for their meticulous bookkeeping and inventory and weapons control. And so then you had a disorganized ragtag, as it was always called, group of rebels storming out there. Nobody standing at the door saying, okay, you're taking what, 2 SA-24s, you're taking some other weapon systems, some mortars. There was no control over what was happening. And again, literally, they were throwing these warehouses open.
I mean, what do we do now?
Well,
20,000, if that's the report, and that's,
right.
I mean, it's a report. It could be less. It could be more. What do we do?
Yeah, we don't really know the extent of the problem. We don't know who has them. We don't know how many of them there are. And we don't know where they're going at this point.
What would you do?
I would basically do everything possible to try to convince the Libyans to give us everything they've got on what they had stockpiled. Then you've got to do very quickly, which is what they're doing. We're trying to play catch-up right now, which is the problem. Because anytime you've got something like this, these things can go across the borders very quickly. Even if Al-Qaeda, card-carrying members of Al-Qaeda, even if they didn't get their hands on them, they cart them out and load them onto trucks. You've got a very vibrant gray market and black market for weapons systems. And so people will quickly not be putting them on Craigslist or eBay, but they'll be selling these things into the wrong hands. It would be naive of us to say that this is not a serious problem.
Mike, we'll continue to follow it, and we hope to have you back to talk more about it.
Thank you.
In the meantime, I guess we just watch for developments. John, what else can we do?